We just finished a London session and a bit of Tokyo. So we stayed up for Tokyo to trade USD JPY. And my entries were late Tokyo. So this finished at around 6 o'clock, and Tokyo session ends at around 3 a.m., I believe. And then London begins right around that area. So we got entries at just about 6 o'clock in the morning, and we ended up getting stopped out. We were looking at a rejection off of this swing here, and it just denied it and sold very hard. Now, as I was managing it, I decided to move my stops just a little bit higher because I was looking to get rejection off of this area here, which swing from the daily time frame, because clearly we rejected here previously. I was looking for more of a exhaustion from the bears and then pushing back up. But as you can see, we're clearly selling hard. Now, what I predict is going to happen is we're going to eventually go down and close this gap that's down here. The same way we did with GJ, sorta. We didn't do too much of it with GJ, but we did a glimpse of it. We got very close to closing the gap. And that's essentially what I see what's going to be happening. The US dollar is rebounding now. And that's the odd part, is that as it rebounded, UJ began to sell even harder. And that's because the yen is gaining strength at the exact same time. The pound did the opposite. So I was eyeing potential buy setups going into the new week, because this is Thursday. So we, like, literally the last day of the week. I don't really trade Fridays. We're going to be looking for new buys up here. But because we respected this high, I'm going to just be waiting to see what's going to happen. I'm not touching any sells in GJ just because of the territory that we're in. We haven't broken any trends yet. We're still like teeter-tottering on that level of support. So there's really no point in trying to short GJ down if I can just wait for a better moment to, get sufficient buys in on. So like I said, we got UJ buys that end up getting stopped out. We won't be touching any sells on this either, because the same story is applied here. We're still in a strong uptrend. Only thing I'll be looking for is buys moving into the next week. And that is, of course, if we reverse off of this level, or even this level, or even this level. And the reason I'm not selling is because there's just not enough room for me to sell. Because when we have a retracement, let's say it's at 1.532, I have a level of support that is significant, 53 pips away. And then we have, like, let's say it breaks through this level, we have another level that is 59 pips away. So each one is very small. Like, the only one that I could possibly consider is this area here, and possibly this area down here. No, just as small. So I wouldn't be looking to take any sell orders there, because it's just not worth my time, not worth my money. GCAD, we also did take that. So in conjunction together, we lost just about 2.5% between the two trades, the two trade setups that we took. Because we scale in, we lose a lot less. So it's going to look like more orders, but that's perfectly fine. For USD JPY, we lost just about 23.25. We could have closed with just about $12 in losses, but I was looking to confirm whether or not we were going to keep the lows that were right here. And I didn't want to move them up too aggressively, just because on the 4-hour time frame, I wanted that candlestick to close and tell me what we were doing. But moving into the last couple of hours, it just started doing this. Like the last hour, it did that. We just stepped away from the charts not too long ago. And then we have GBP CAD. In total, we lost $29. I don't know if that's accurate though. I don't think that's true. Let me check, because my broker didn't say that. If so, then I got out on slippage. A hell of a lot of slippage, I'll tell you that. Close date 11/6, close date 11/5. Or it could just be Yeah, so with my broker, $18, $10, $6. I think they just imported this wrong because 29 is, I mean, what we lost in total, sure. 10 plus 18. Okay, so I guess they just put them together because it's the same symbol. They were opened around the same time. They weren't opened at the same time. They're two different orders. So I guess that's just what it is. Sure. But yeah. So in total we lost $29 on this. So it's about 1%, or a little bit over 1%, like 1.5%. This one was 1%, or 1.1, 1.2, or something like that. And that's in total what we lost. We did close on this order here. We had a long on UJ, which was my first entry. We got in at 153.955. I exited literally like 2 pips later, just because this entry was because of FOMO. And you can see now where UJ is. You see my sell price here was 153.386, but we got a better entry just about 30 pips lower, which is where my stop loss was going to be on this order, which is why I closed it. We have GBP CAB that I entered in shorts on, and these are my scale ins. So this was my first scale in. I believe I closed this early because improper entry. I was rushing it. I wanted to wait, refine my edge just a little bit more. So we entered in a little bit later at about 1.84045. So just a little bit lower. Or no, it's about the same entry, same entries. Sorry, I was reading the wrong one right there. And that was the entire order. So just about 2.5% for the day is what we're down, essentially, because we only lost just about $53. Well, actually, we're lower than that because we only lost $53 today. So that's a lot lower. Now, moving forward, I've already told you we're going to be taking buys on GU. I meant not GU, UJ there or down here, depending on if we get any rejections here, which I don't necessarily think we're going to reject here yet. It's moving very strong. I mean, I'll check going into the later hours of New York because we have, I believe, 1 or 2 more candlesticks before New York closes. Yeah, 2 more candlesticks before New York closes. And then we also have Tokyo moving right after that. So that'll be in the next trading session that I'll log in for and see if we do anything with it. GBP CAD, I won't be touching this just for a little bit. We'll let it do what it's doing. I need to see exactly what's happening, if we're going to maintain levels of support and get back into that buy trend that it's been aggressively in for like the past 2 years. So if we can maintain that, then I'll be right back in, because as you can see, we've snapped this trend line, and we even snapped the baby trend line that happened under it. So like right in here, we snapped this. So now we're moving into a new phase, and I want it to be just a little bit higher, like break the 185s and go just a little bit further. But I would consider buying off of the place where I sold if it does come back and retest off of this area or anywhere above the 1.84. It's not a bad entry, just because you look at it on the daily time frame. We're breaking structure on this area to just go back into the previous structure that we had, because that only happened due to the pound losing crazy strength in the past like couple of months, which is why I've decided to step away from GU for that exact reason. Now, we haven't taken any orders on GU, nothing. I passed up on this sell. I just didn't want to be in chop, and right now we're retracing on that order. So we'll be seeing exactly what's going to happen moving into the later hours of this session, which I'll keep tabs on. But we still only have one more trade, because we've basically given back all the profits that we gained on the last winning day. So our last winning day we had was it's about 60-ish dollars. And now that that's gone, we have to adjust accordingly. As you see, we netted 65.86, but our gross profit was just about 55.16, and we just literally gave that back. So we'll see. There are some possibilities for GU to catch some sales in, but I'm not in favor of the US dollar right now. I kind of want to stay away from it with banking on it being strong. That's kind of what I want to do. I think I'll wait to see exactly what's going to happen over here because I mean it doesn't really necessarily depend on the dollar itself, which I just learned today because I was watching the pound and the yen. They both were up, and the pound is obviously stronger than the yen, so it was buying up during that time. But then we had an immediate switch, and that's why GJ is selling now. So new things learned, new things learned. So we'll see. I'm eyeing potential shorts off GU, maybe. I mean, we're hitting my previous level of support. We just tapped it. So could I enter in here? Yes. Will I? I don't know yet. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. It's Thursday. So these will be my last orders. And I don't even know if I want that to be my last order. A B type setup. Yeah, we'll see. But that's really all. So just wanted to update. Catch y'all when we update next.